everything feels off, like nothing's working.
Okay, watch this. Watch.
Ever get that feeling? Like you're putting in the work, the hustle is real, but success? Well, success seems to be on a permanent vacation.
Yeah, I know that feeling. It's so common, isn't it?
Totally. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're tackling this whole idea of success being closer than we think. Buckle up, everyone. It's deep dive time.
I like it. Deep dive.
So before we jump in, let me just lay it all out there. We've got some fascinating source material today, stuff that really gets you thinking. And our mission, to unpack this whole concept of why sticking with habits, even when they feel, well, kind of pointless, could be the secret sauce to a major breakthrough.
Absolutely. And the source material even calls out this feeling specifically.
Right. It's almost like a universal experience. You start a new habit full of energy and excitement, but then weeks or even months go by and you're like, wait, is this even doing anything?
Exactly. The source even throws out this intriguing question: what if success just one step away? Like right there, just waiting to be uncovered.
Okay, I love that. One step away. But why does it feel so far off then?
Well, that's where things get interesting. Our brains are kind of sneaky, Habits operate on this deep neurological level, and when we try to build new ones, it's like we're forging these brand new neural pathways. And, well, those pathways, they don't exactly appear overnight.
So it's like hacking through a dense jungle. You've got to clear a path before you can really move freely.
Exactly. And initially, those pathways are pretty weak, fragile even. So the habit feels, well, clunky, unrewarding, almost like it's not even worth the effort.
Like those first few trips to the gym. Everything aches, you're fumbling around with the equipment, and you're thinking, am I really getting anything out of this?
You nailed it. And the source really stresses this whole stick with it philosophy. It's all about consistency, because the more you repeat a habit, the stronger those neural pathways get, until eventually the action becomes almost automatic. Second nature, really.
So it's like you reach this tipping point where the habit shifts from feeling like a chore to something you just do. It becomes ingrained in your routine.
Precisely. The source calls this the breakthrough moment, that moment when the habit becomes a natural part of your life.
And that's when the magic happens, right? The big wins, the transformations, all that jazz.
Well, not necessarily. That's where things take an even more fascinating turn.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
So the source argues that this breakthrough moment isn't always like a fireworks display. It's not always this big, visible event. Sometimes it's much more subtle, more like laying the foundation for a skyscraper. You might not see the results immediately, but they're happening beneath the surface.
Okay. I'm starting to see where you're going with this. It's like the progress is invisible but still happening, kind of like when you're learning a new language.
Perfect example. You could spend months, maybe even years, grappling with vocabulary, memorizing grammar rules, feeling like you're barely making a dent. But then one day, boom, you find yourself effortlessly understanding a native speaker, following along with the conversation, and it's like, wait, when did that happen?
Right. All those hours of study, those late nights hunched over textbooks, they weren't useless after all. They were building up to that aha moment.
Exactly. And it's not just about these dramatic overnight transformations either. Sometimes the breakthrough is this quiet shift in your mindset. Maybe you develop this new level of confidence, a sense of resilience you didn't have before.
It's making me rethink my daily writing sessions. I haven't exactly landed any book deals yet, but maybe I'm unknowingly setting the stage for something bigger down the line.
Exactly. And it's not always about those massive life-altering outcomes either. Sometimes the breakthrough is simply finding more patience in rush hour traffic or handling a stressful work situation with more grace and composure. It's the ripple effect of consistent effort.
So basically the key takeaway here is that consistency, even when we can't see the immediate payoff, is the fuel that drives those breakthroughs. It's about trusting the process, even when it feels like we're slogging through mud.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And, the source brings up this really interesting point about the tricky phase, that period where the habit feels totally useless and we're tempted to just throw in the towel.
Oh, I know that phase all too well. It's like hitting a wall. So how do we navigate that? How do we push through when we're feeling discouraged?
Well, the source offers a couple of strategies. One is to focus on the small wins. Instead of aiming for a marathon right off the bat, celebrate completing a single mile. Track your progress no matter how tiny it seems.
So it's about breaking down those big, daunting goals into bite-sized pieces. Makes sense? What else?
Another strategy is finding an accountability buddy, someone who's on a similar journey, facing similar challenges. Or even joining a community of like-minded folks where you can share your struggles, celebrate your wins, and just know that you're not alone in the trenches.
So, essentially, find ways to make the process itself more enjoyable, more rewarding, even before those big, flashy breakthroughs show up.
Exactly. It's about shifting our focus from the outcome to the journey itself. And remember, the source really hammers home this idea that even those seemingly useless habits can have this ripple effect, impacting other areas of our lives in unexpected ways.
Right, like you might start meditating for 5 minutes a day, not expecting to become some enlightened guru overnight.
Exactly. But you might find yourself feeling more centered, less reactive in stressful situations. Maybe you find yourself being more patient with your family or colleagues, even when they're pushing your buttons.
It's like these small changes, these seemingly insignificant shifts, they start to add up and create a bigger impact than we ever imagined.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of it all, isn't it? We never really know the full extent of how our habits are shaping us, how they're laying the groundwork for those breakthroughs. It's a process of trust and surrender.
So to wrap things up today, folks, success might just be hanging out right around the corner, cleverly disguised as those seemingly insignificant habits we're building day by day.
Love it. A perfect summary.
It's about playing the long game, having faith in the process, and finding ways to keep ourselves motivated, even when the results are hiding in plain sight. So, as a final thought for everyone out there, I want you to consider a habit you've been working on, one that maybe feels like it's not really making a difference. What if this is your murky water moment? What if that breakthrough you're longing for is just waiting for the right time to reveal itself? Just something to ponder as you go about your day. And hey, thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time.
See ya.